Hello and welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom, live from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano. I am Ino Suffle. Coming. Ghana defies global slowdown with steady 4.8% growth in 2026. And in Channel 1 Sports. We'll bring you a report of all 10 coaches leading African countries to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Thanks for joining us. Let's begin from the Ashanti region, where farmers in over 5 communities along Lake Bosumtwi in the Ashanti region are counting their losses after large sections of vegetation covering the protective buffer zones for the lake have been destroyed. It is unclear who is carrying out the activity. Inhabitants, mostly farmers who had their produce destroyed, explained they woke up to see earth-moving equipment grading the area. Channel 1 News' Bureau Chief for the Middle Belt, Hafiz Tijani, reports.
The affected communities include Esion Jafo, Abase, Abrodom, and other adjoining communities along the lake. Trees that have been nurtured for years along the banks of the lake have been graded, causing disruption to critical biodiversity habitats around the lake. The activity for inhabitants has increased the risk of soil erosion as the rains intensify. Some of the affected farmers lamented the situation.
Media could be assassin aya asoja asasi aya omotoy na meso aso nansi na mekomiko bi mai na fada yeseni media could be na dachi bian aja so a so no sibitu ya ho faso kakra amadua ya omot could be better handed na assassin so
how many the grow
me how ya edebla me say omudue no yanti ayi bia wo assassin ho wo si di empatesika bia ma ya nyaleti bia ya nhyia ba bia no ma omo ne ya anwene ho no se fidie no esisu anedwi nti yɛde wɔ ha papa.
Oh, I know the mall bayani. You can cry, give you a day, into Molba, I can know. She buy nigga. I know money can't find she has in and film the son. I'm better could be ho. Auntie, and the idea almost I mean, what you see and all the making.
I do a hard.
I had been sent to me say, are you ready? No, I'm not in cabin 300 feet. I told her, say, I'm already be up and your uncle. So be a project blow. I'm almost a CPS. And she has a bone, see no by. See, I have only seen. Tim who said me as affecting see.
The farmers also claimed that they were not given prior notice, while also stating that individuals who spearheaded the destruction had told them they had a backing from the Mencha Palace to carry out the activity. The inhabitants say although they have not had any official communication from the palace, they doubt the authenticity of the claims. Opinion leaders in the area say they are seeking clarity following some claims by the developers.
First in Kranaka, almost as a Yenria project in Suno, Action in Sunbury. Into Nana Santana Crown would bring ya. I'm a Joffrey, a dream really do hapa. I pay around the lake and so we before so dear. And now a body in South Yakupon so near and so I share the Amabo session. And no. Woman be doing I'm in position. I digress, and he said, in some years to come, no, in sure a very
Environmental group Arocha Ghana, which visited the area, is already calling for a halt in the activities.
Because of farming and then also looking at the scape, it means that with this place cleared and opened, we're going to have even chemical wash and other things also into the lake.
Meanwhile, Ashanti Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amwakohene has directed a halt in activities in the area.
For inhabitants of this community, their concerns go beyond the distraction caused here, as they warn such activities continue to threaten the future of the lake. Hafiz Tijani, Channel 1 News, Lake Bosumtwi, Ashanti Region.
Let's still stay in the Ashanti region because there seems to be no construction work currently underway at the Crowfoam Market project site, despite a social media post by the Ashanti Regional Minister Frank Amwakohene. Dr. Amwakohene claimed the project site was under construction after months of delay. Channel 1 News' Ashanti Regional correspondent Doris Lonta visited the site and reports.
Although authorities have publicly announced that the project has resumed with funding from the 24-hour Economic Market Initiative, there is currently no evidence on the ground to support the claim, with no clear timeline given for the actual start of construction. Barely a month after Channel 1 News reported on the stalled Crowfoam Market project, 6 months after President John Dramani Mahama visited the site during his thank you tour of the Ashanti region on July 16, 2025, the structure remains abandoned. During that visit, President Mahama assured traders that work would resume promptly and that the market would be completed and fully operational by December 2026. However, at the time of Channel 1 News' earlier report on February 24, 2026, the site remained overgrown with weeds, with no indication that construction would begin soon. A month later, the Ashanti Regional Minister announced on Facebook that work had resumed on the stalled market. However, checks by Channel 1 News reveal otherwise. No construction materials, equipment, contractors or workers on site to indicate that actual work is in progress. Traders operating from makeshift stalls around the project area are frustrated over what they describe as repeated deception by authorities regarding the resumption of the long-delayed project.
Any GD. I'm not chance after home, maybe a coffee by 5 hours job between our masses. Almost all mamma, yashay. The Yamidi Pomocho, yes, slow. Omuya here for from low income from we are mobile. No, me, Jano. And the Omoya and she any come up for beer.
Maybe get in my eye. No, quite a number from film and film material demand, yeah, Mobo. And see a tar, we already had a high night. Put some more and say your money may be crying. This is good danger table, so tell my white mania and see a young Marco. Just Samo, that's the mamma, and penny for me, you guy my.
The market project, which began in 2007, remains uncompleted despite numerous failed promises over the years. Traders around the project site say they are frustrated and weary of what they describe as the repeated deceits, insisting that they want concrete action rather than the mere promises they have continually received. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Doris Lonta, Ashanti region.
Government will soon begin the construction of a 24-hour economy market in Mankessim in the central region. Traders who will be affected by the project have, however, expressed unwillingness to vacate their present spots. Close to 2,000 traders are likely to be evicted from the Mankessim Old Market, where authorities plan to site the new project. Central Regional Correspondent Akwesiadu has more in the following report.
Authorities have settled on a portion of the Mankessim Old Market for the siting of the 24-hour economy market. At the start of the project, close to 2,000 traders will have to relocate their business. The traders argue that some places designated for their relocation are not suitable.
Cape Coast Station, where they are proposing, is for GPRTU, and they have the real documents concerning the land. So now, and look at HHS station, it's just 2x4. So where are you going to locate the traders? That is our problem.
Already, Niguana Aya congested. In Sinchaya new marketer, and Chayape.
Iguan, 1 month now, Lemon Fufro now was in. One can see my hand, one now, 1 year baby.
Some of the affected traders are unhappy over the Assembly's intentions to demolish portions of the existing market for a new project, even though the previous administration initiated the construction of a new market at Jedu, also in Mankessim.
Price of 21 no and I be say and I want to mean ye move 4 acres no and to mean ye be what to say baby and go for it 24 or more Tom and say no.
Speaking to Channel 1 News, Chairman of the Mankessim Concerned Petty Traders Association, Benjamin Blay, suggested for the completion of existing market structures before initiating new ones.
Obey new markets. Ediama a young fantimai. Tiwonja he my. Now 1 year Johnny been fan count fantimai revenues yede and koso.
Traditional authorities have, however, expressed support for the 24-hour economy market and imploring the traders to cooperate with government. Following the completion of a 6th stakeholder engagement, Municipal Chief Executive from Fansiman, Eric Stanley Akwa, told Channel 1 News the Assembly has identified 4 locations to accommodate the affected traders.
We have identified 4 key areas. We have a lorry station at Accra Station where traders and commuters take Accra and other places. We have Cape Coast Station. We have a social station. And above all, I did mention of the Answer Park and one other place.
He announced the Assembly will soon begin collecting data of traders who will be affected.
Preparations are done, and the plan officer, who happens to be the project coordinator as far as the Assembly is concerned, is going to lead, the expert to go there, identify the project affected people, get their data down, and then probably we'll do the relocation for the contract to commence.
For the Channel 1 Newsroom, I am Akwesiadu, Mankessim Central Region.
Let's head to the courts because the Supreme Court has granted the Attorney General a 7-day extension to file its statement of case in a suit challenging Parliament's powers to establish the office of the Special Prosecutor. Channel 1 News' Jude Duncan was at the Supreme Court and filed the following report.
The Attorney General's Department on Thursday filed an application seeking an extension of time to file its statement of case in the ongoing suit by private citizen Noah Adamte, challenging Parliament's powers in setting up the office of the Special Prosecutor. The court granted the application and ordered the defendant to file its statement of case within 7 days. The Attorney General moved the application, citing unavoidable administrative constraints. The Attorney General a week ago supported the suit at the Supreme Court. The Attorney General argues that Article 88.3 of the 1992 Constitution solely vests prosecutorial powers in the Attorney General alone, and therefore Parliament acted unconstitutionally by passing the OSP Act 959, which made it compulsory for the Attorney General to delegate part of its prosecutorial powers to the OSP. Noah Adamte, who filed this suit challenging Parliament's power in setting up the office of the Special Prosecutor, raising concerns on its constitutionality, today himself was not in court. There was no indication that the office of the Special Prosecutor is also interested in being a party to this case. For Channel 1 News here at the Supreme Court, Jude Duncan.
For more on this, we're joined on the phone by Menchia South MP, Nana Ejay Bafo Ewa. Many thanks for joining us, Honourable.
Thanks for having me.
Right. So, the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Srimsai, says the Attorney General's Department will comply with a High Court directive to assume control of all criminal prosecutions currently being handled by the OSP's office. His comments follow a ruling. Tell me, what is your reaction to the AG's decision to comply with the court's directive?
Good evening to your viewers. I think that the AG continues to make too many unstrategic moves. I say it continues to make too many unstrategic moves in respect of this matter because by this action, the AG is in the minds of people or even confirmation of people that what he couldn't achieve with the initiative to abolish or the initiative by some senior members of the NDC to have the office of the Special Prosecutor abolished. Right? They are happy. It has now been rendered fruitless. They will move to take files. Why do I say so? The decision of the court was simply to the effect that in the absence of authorization by the AG, the Special Prosecutor cannot continue with the prosecution that is undertaken. The AG to enable it to continue those prosecutions, just as the AG does for the Economic and Organized Crime Office, and just as the AG does for the Prosecutions Department of the Ghana Police Service.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can do that for the Prosecuting Department of the Ghana Police Service, and you can do that for Yoko, why can't you do that for the Office of the Special Prosecutor? But you are proceeding to take the docket. Clearly, its wishes have been granted, and so it is happy. And by that, or because of that, it is going in for the docket. It is a very unstrategic move.
Right.
You know, the position of everybody in this country knows my position as far as the Office of the Special Prosecutor is concerned. My position has been for us to review the office, for us to take a critical look at the office. That position is not the same position. It's not, the NDC doesn't share that position. The NDC in its manifesto rather stated that it was going to strengthen the office of the Special Prosecutor. Indeed, following the victory of the NDC, the inauguration of the current government, they never made a move against the office of the Special Prosecutor until the arrest of Martin Kibu, where some senior members of the party wanted the office abolished. And the president requested that they halt those processes. Now, is this another way of achieving what originally some senior members of the party wanted to achieve? I.e., if we are not abolishing the office, then let's make the office weak. If the AG is lead this onslaught, because by leading this onslaught, right, the propensity that people are likely to, there's a propensity of people coming to the conclusion that this is another way to achieve what they had originally sought to do, i.e., the abolition of the office.
Right.
Now, it is unstrategic again because the current special prosecutor, a few weeks ago, had come out to complain about the fact that it has had a lot of interferences from political actors. That, for me, very respectfully, has never been a justified complaint, because from the outset of the establishment of the office, it was known that such pressure would definitely come onto the office because clearly it is the reason why that power was being created, so that the AG will not buckle in circumstances of that nature and stop prosecution.
Nana,
so obvious.
The court's ruling also suggests that the OSP lacked the necessary authorization from the AG, therefore rendering its prosecutions invalid. Now, some critics are blaming the previous NPP administration for establishing that office without ensuring that framework. Do you agree?
Now, the only thing the previous NPP administration could have done was to have amended the constitution. That would have been a long shot. And so the current act, the act in its current form, appears to be a compromised position in achieving a certain end without breaching Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, and also ensuring the independence, what you may want to call a compromised independence. And so I don't think in and of itself it was a wrong move. If the AG is ready to work around this, or if the AG is ready to continue with a compromise. In this particular instance, it is clear the AG doesn't want to continue with that compromise. And so he's taking a certain view.
Right.
Why would the AG not want to continue with that compromise when in its manifesto it has stated something else? Is it the case that the AG is not happy with the NDC's manifesto? Is it the case that the AG is not the AG is not working tandem with the aspirations of it's not working or pursuing the aspirations of the party or working for it? All these things are up for discussion. However, I don't think the AG will make any move without briefing the president, considering the fact that this issue has been twice sanitized.
Right.
And so the president is likely to be aware.
All right.
Right. But one thing is clear. It is clear that by the latest move by the AG, it seeks to weaken the office.
With the AG taking over, does it effectively cure the legal defects identified by the court, or do these cases have to restart entirely?
That is a very serious legal issue the AG is going to have to, it's a very big legal hurdle the AGs are going to have to clear. The AG is going to have to clear the hurdle because he's going to have serious challenges in that. On power that the prosecutor is getting, right? But what is important is that because the AG has the power under Article 88, I think that it will be able to nuance, will be able to go out to manage those challenges in court. I don't think the court would like to. The court is going to give the AG, serious problems because of it. About Article 88. The AG may want to carry on,
right, or
the AG will be able to carry on without anybody raising issues of legality, or even if it is raised, it will be disrespectful.
Right. Nana Ejay Bafo, always a pleasure speaking to you.
The pleasure is mine.
Let's move on to some other stories now. The Chief Justice, Paul Bafoboni, has called for renewed commitment to improving the justice system as Ghana's Supreme Court marks its 150th anniversary. He emphasized the need for reforms to strengthen public confidence in the judiciary and enhance service delivery. There's more in this report by Channel 1 News' Christopher Kevin Asima.
The launch of the 150th anniversary of the Supreme Court of Ghana in Accra came with a strong call to action, urging renewed commitment to faster, more accessible and transparent justice delivery. Chief Justice Paul Bafoboni noted that over the past 150 years, the courts have made significant progress in becoming more open and efficient. However, he cautioned that the justice system still faces considerable challenges that must be addressed. He stressed that these are systemic issues that require urgent attention and should not be seen as criticisms of individuals within the judiciary.
They defended the rule of law, often under pressure, sometimes making difficult choices, yet leaving behind a legacy of integrity that still lights our path. After 150 years, we must ask ourselves honestly, are we where we should be? Should congestion and delays still burden our courts? Should we still lean so heavily on manual processes in a digital age? Should access to justice in too many cases still hinge on geography, cost, or time? These are not attacks on individuals. They are questions about systems. Because the truth is this, longevity without renewal is a quiet form of decline. And the law, if it is to remain relevant, must not only endure, it must respond.
Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Shremsai, in his remarks, waged in on the ongoing discussion about whether the jury system should be scrapped. He defended its continued use, describing jury trials as essential to protecting civil liberties and promoting democratic participation in Ghana's justice system.
We do not think that jury trials should be abolished. We believe that technology has come and would assist us to improve jury trial systems. So, for example, we have the digital address system, we have the national identification system, all of which will help us to be able to diversify the jury system and to also educate the populace to understand that justice cannot be fully done without the participation of the people.
President of the Ghana Bar Association, Ifua Gati, also urged lawyers and judges to exercise their authority with humility and fairness.
As we honor the past, so ably described by Chief Justice Azukra, let us, in the present, be resolute in our defense of the rule of law, be true custodians of the sacred trust reposed in us by none other but the Lord Almighty, to whom we are all ultimately accountable.
The Supreme Court of Ghana is 150 years. A lot has been achieved, a lot is still set to be achieved. Reporter for Channel 1 News, I am Christopher Kevin Asima.
This is still the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV, still to come. Ghana defies global slowdown with steady 4.8% growth in 2026. We have the details shortly. Do stay.
The best part of going home is family.
Sit up! Hey, mommy, my wife is cooking something delicious.
Lizzie Shito, hot pepper sauce, spicy. Bona yete, Lizzie, oh Lizzie. Lizzie Shito,
Lizzie Shito, the Shito. It's totally Lizzie Shito over fail.
Lizzie Shito. Please, can I take some to school tomorrow?
Yes, my son, you can. Lizzie Shito dear. Ebesu obiasu.
Lizzie Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy and kasa.
Lizzie Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy.
For bulk purchase, kindly contact 050-168-3344 or 050-155-0998. This advert is FDA approved.
Your health is in your hands, but at some point, it passes on to us. At Mintuba Hospital and Coloproctology Center, we believe that quality healthcare isn't a privilege, it's a right. Equipped with cutting-edge technology, we are fully prepared to effectively deal with all colorectal and proctological conditions. Our team of highly skilled doctors, surgeons, and nurses are renowned for their expertise in minimally invasive and painless laser, ligature, and lungoproctological surgery. We are committed to providing a wide range of services to meet the diverse needs of our patients. Mintuba Hospital, your health is our priority. Visit Mintuba Hospital today or call us at 0244 581 541 or 0271 054 204. Mintuba Hospital, in to serve a peculiar health need. You're welcome back. Up next is Channel 1 Business with me, Latte Latte.
CNR Business is brought to you by EcoBank.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hi, Nee. Nice tie.
Thank you very much, Eno.
What's coming up in business?
Well, we have an update on the growth forecast by IMF as the, spring meetings continue.
Give us the details.
All right, thank you. Ghana's economy continues to show resilience despite a weakening global environment, with the International Monetary Fund maintaining a 4.8% growth forecast for 2026. This matches its October 2025 projection and slightly exceeds the 4.6% outlook for sub-Saharan Africa, even as global growth is revised down to 3.1% amid rising energy prices and geopolitical tensions.
The projection is contained in the IMF's Regional Economic Outlook for April 2026, which highlights how geopolitical tensions are beginning to affect the economic recovery of several emerging and developing economies, including Ghana. The IMF notes that the conflict has contributed to a rapid rise in the prices of key commodities, particularly fuel and fertilizer, which are critical inputs for transportation, energy generation, and agricultural production. The increase in these costs is expected to place additional pressure on production and living costs across many economies. The fund further warns that poverty, food insecurity, and other social indicators which were already weakened by the lingering effects of the pandemic could face renewed pressure due to declining foreign aid flows and rising food prices. These developments, the IMF says, may slow efforts to improve livelihoods across parts of Africa. Meanwhile, the fund is optimistic about Ghana's outlook, with African Department Director Abebe Selassie expressing confidence the country can sustain its recovery beyond the program.
It's about sustaining that in the post-program period. You asked what steps we've taken to ensure that. You know, this is not for the IMF. This is for the people of Ghana, for the government, for the private sector, for civil society to take. It's not for the IMF. And I think, you know, hopefully, you know, the lessons of the recent past hopefully will be salutary, and going forward, there will continue to be a decent path. But we're very optimistic about Ghana. I mean, the potential there, of course, is tremendous, and we're very hopeful that the economy will continue to grow from strength to strength.
Now, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies has raised concerns over what it describes as a prepayment burden imposed on industry players following government's latest fuel price intervention. It is warning that oil marketing companies will now have to finance parts of the cost of diesel upfront. More in the following report.
The Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, described the latest move by government to cushion consumers against fuel price hikes as an intervention rather than an absorption of cost as touted. This comes as government, ahead of the second pricing window of April, announced an absorption of 2 Ghana cedis per litre on diesel and 36 pesos per litre on petrol to cushion consumers against rising fuel costs. The CEO of COMAC, Dr. Reverson Opon, in a Channel 1 business interview, welcomed the development but explained that the structure of the intervention means companies must absorb a negative margin component on diesel sales and wait for reimbursement, creating short-term liquidity pressures.
The only impact for this intervention, like I said before, has to do with the prepayment of cost of fuel for diesel, which this intervention has brought on us. With these 2 cedis cuts from the diesel, all right, there is a 63 peso component that must be pre-borne by any OMC who is doing diesel business before the government will pay us maybe 1 month after. We are asking MPA to pay us 2 days to 5 days after the month because they are working capital. Tell me how the government is going to pay us back with any incentive. Why are we not even giving any incentive to operate in these difficult times, but rather giving us burden? And again, when you look at the margins, that has been taken care of. They are meant to do certain things. They are meant to do certain things.
Meanwhile, mixed reactions has greeted the reduction in fuel prices by OMCs as the second pricing window commences.
Yes, we should say, and can you can say on better this 2 cedis no every so. Na ye nyina ye nim say e dan a ebeba say 15.10, but ye hunu sa eno na ya de a high kakra because na expect 2 cedis out of 17 so. But it's a very good initiative to help the Ghanaian people reduce some of the costs, our transportations and other costs around our transportations. You see, so when the fuel prices increase, most of our economy or most of our transport and other stuff increases, and then when it drops, like I think it's a very fair one. That will help the Ghanaian people to also like minimize some of their costs and also their expenditures.
Time now for an update on how crude oil prices are faring and also the liquor currency on the interbank market. That's it for business. I'm Neil Atilati. Back to you, Enosafo.
Thank you very much, Nee. Let's do some more stories. The minority in Parliament has accused the management of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority of paying 4 million Ghana cedis to its former Chief Executive Officer, Kofi Owusu-Darko, for consultancy services. Addressing journalists, the Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, Vincent Akawasefwa, questioned the procurement basis for the appointment. There's more in the following report by Channel 1 News' Nee Ayekwe Okan.
The Minority Caucus on Thursday addressed journalists, raising concerns about alleged duplication of roles at the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, NPRA. The caucus claimed that 4 million Ghana cedis was being paid to former Chief Executive Officer Kofi Owusu for consultancy services, while a director responsible for the same duties is allegedly being paid 100,000 Ghana cedis monthly.
The CEO has established a new office and is paying that director to man that office 100,000 Ghana cedis per month. That is not my problem. But here comes my problem. If a dedicated directorate has already been created and a substantive director appointed at significant recurring cost, why should pension contributors again bear an additional 4 million consultancy fee for the same micro pensions functions? The Ghanaian worker deserves clarity on the scope of the consultancy, the procurement basis of the appointment, the deliverables attached to the fee, and why existing internal structures were deemed insufficient.
The group also questioned the decision by management of the NPRA to commit 700 million Ghana cedis to pensioners' funds to a loan facility for Phase 2 of the NPRA headquarters project, while Phase 1 remains unused.
Why is Mr. Chris Bodi-Mensah pursuing a non-urgent 700 million Phase 2 expansion when the first phase remains uncommissioned? Why should contributors be tied to a facility yielding a little above 5% when prevailing market returns may be significantly stronger?
The minority further alleged that the Chief Executive Officer of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, Chris Bodi-Mensah, doubled his salary without board approval upon assuming office.
We are informed that Mr. Bodi-Mensah doubled his salary immediately upon assumption of office in February 2025 without a board approval. We are informed that December 2025, Mr. Chris Bodi-Mensah authorized the expenditure of 15 million Ghana cedis on 7 Land Cruiser vehicles. Today, if you go to Toyota Ghana and you want to buy a brand new 2026 Land Cruiser, you won't buy it for more than 1.3 or 1.4 million Ghana cedis. But here is the case that he is spending 15 million Ghana cedis on 7 Land Cruisers.
Organizers of the Channel 1 Community Legends Initiative are calling on Ghanaians to back efforts to recognize and celebrate selfless individuals making a positive impact in society.
After narrowing down over 100 nationwide submissions that highlight ordinary individuals driving extraordinary change at the grassroots level, the 2026 cohort was announced on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily Show on Thursday. In healthcare, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital pediatric oncologist Dr. Emmanuel Amwako was selected. In education, Isaac Amwako, popularly known as Teacher Amwako, also earned a spot for his literacy advocacy through the Teacher Amwako Foundation. Also shortlisted is Daisy Mina Enchi, founder of the Gold Coast Literacy Foundation in Kaswa. From the Ashanti region, Bridget Prempe, headmistress of Mpasetia DA Basic A, was also selected. Also selected from the Eastern region is Michael Kolete of Kobo Dumase for his advocacy on inclusive education. From the Northern region, Hansa Bukari was recognized for her innovative teaching methods using indigenous storytelling. Representing the OT region, Elijah Wupe Awuno, a laboratory scientist with the Ghana Immigration Service, was honored for his humanitarian outreach to elderly citizens. In the Bono region, Anthony Kojo Humpe was recognized for restoring ensuring clean water access across 14 communities through borehole rehabilitation. Also on the list is John Borinyam Kwapna from Saboba in the northern region, whose projects include the construction of classroom blocks, a maternity facility, a library, and the restoration of water systems. Completing the top 10 is 14-year-old climate advocate Inanao Nyande from Weja in the Greater Accra region, who is being recognized for using spoken word poetry to promote environmental awareness and climate action. Head of Programs Production at Channel 1 TV, Apioko Seiram Ashong Abe, says each of the 10 legends will be featured in dedicated 30-minute episodes as part of a 10-part documentary series.
In a couple of weeks, we'll be rolling out a TV series.
Okay.
And this TV series has 10 episodes, each episode 30 minutes long, profiles each of our 10 community legends to inspire and let people know what they're doing. Now, after that, while that rollout is going on TV, right here on Channel 1 TV, then we'll identify the 3 most outstanding stories or legends, and then we will now look at how we can give them substantial reward. And that reward involves investing back into the work that they are doing, supporting them to do the work. And we'll be calling very soon on our viewers and our listeners on City FM to support us in this cause. So let's come together and be the change makers, because as we tell you a story, we're empowering change.
This is the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV with me, Inu Safo. Still to come. We'll bring you a report of Voltaire.
Next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
me didn't tontum. Mr. Friend, Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Friend, me once now.
Hey, that's you. Impruka. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Sasso spray. Mr. Friend is Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my
Sasso, come tom preko.
No power. Another year is here. A new beginning. A fresh opportunity to draw closer to God and to one another. This family month, your family radio station, 97.3 CDFM, invites you and your loved ones to something truly special. The 2026 Family Consecration Service, a sacred gathering where families come together in prayer, faith, and unity. It's a moment to dedicate your home to God's loving care, to seek His protection, His guidance, and His peace over every household. Come and experience divine connection as we pray for strength, restoration, unity, and direction for our families. Married couples will also have the opportunity to renew their vows, reaffirming love, commitment, and purpose. The date is Friday, the 1st of May, 2026, from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. The venue is the Oil Dome, Royal House Chapel, Accra. Bring your entire family and come expectant. And let's commit our homes into God's hands. 2026 Family Consecration Service is powered by 97.3 CDFM with support from Channel 1 TV, because the family that prays together stays together. Calls me in the power for Christ the Son.
Next is Channel 1 Sports with Bernard Abehuatri. How are you doing?
I'm a miracle. How are you today?
I'm very well. Countdown to the World Cup?
Yeah, we've got less than 60 days. Now we have a coach.
Yeah, we have a coach.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to tell us about him and others as well.
You believe we can win the World Cup?
No.
Let's do some more. First off, let's start with the MTN FA Cup, because the MTN FA Cup has reached its defining moment, the semi-finals, and for the first time in recent years, all 4 remaining clubs come from the Ghana Premier League. We've got more in this report by my colleague Julio Ashrifi Amwa.
This weekend, the Swedru Sports Stadium becomes the center of Ghanaian football as the race for the FA Cup glory intensifies. The contenders, league leaders Medeama SC, Nations FC, Adriana FC, and former champions Dreams FC. The first semi-final on Friday pits Nations FC against Adriana FC. For head coach of Nations, Frimpong Manso, this matchup is something he has been waiting for.
It's one of the matches that we've been looking for, because looking at the way we started with the MTN, we've played 4 games and we've won 4 games. We've scored, I think, 7 goals and then conceded 2. So if we look at the MTN FA Cup side, I think we are scoring goals and then we're conceding less. And now we are into the semi-finals, which for us is a step into the final program. So, yes.
But for head coach of Adriana FC, Chuba Aristika, this game is going to be a difficult game.
You have only 1 game, no have the same in the league. If you lose the game, you go outside from the competition. But our player need to understand what time I starting this competition from the Bechim first game. I remember talking from the player, let's starting seriously and go game to game and let put in our plan, play the final. This is our plan, and I think the player he understand this and is go very serious in the training and need more concentration from the game about.
On Saturday, attention turns to a heavyweight clash. Dreams FC face Medeama SC in what many are calling the tactical battle of the semi-finals. The head coach for Medeama SC, Ibrahim Tanko, believes their preparation will be a factor.
Trump Divisa was a really good opponent for us, and I don't think we are going to take this one differently. I mean, we are going to prepare like the way we are preparing in our league matches. So definitely, and the preparation is going to be a very serious one.
By the end of this weekend, 2 teams will remain. 2 teams, 1 step away from the glory. The question is, who will rise and who will fall?
Now, with less than 60 days to kick off, the 10 African teams heading to the United States, Canada, and Mexico will be looking to make a strong statement and advance deep into the tournament. We have more in this report.
We begin with Algeria. Vladimir Petkovic, born in Sarajevo in 1963, he is an experienced international coach. He managed Switzerland's national team from 2014 to 2021 and guided